We are Steve and Jill.
Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more. I'm Stephen Jack Butella.
and I'm Jill DeWitt, and this is the Land Academy Show.
This is episode number 2199. Today, Jill and I are talking about why flipping 20 land deals or just a bunch of land deals are, why it beats holding one rental property. I have to tell you, a lot of this is personal choice, but we tend to be on the same page with each other.
Spoiler alert. Yeah, spoiler alert. It is more work. Well, maybe not. We'll talk about that. But it comes down to the bottom line. That's the only reason. So let's be honest. It's about the dough.
It's about the money. That's why we're here. And for 20, it doesn't have to be 20 land deals. It's probably better to flip 3 land properties.
True.
Versus holding one rental. But it just depends on what your outlook is in life.
True.
I like having fast money.
Exactly.
Hey, this week, all week, is reality week. Today, we're talking about flipping, why flipping 20 land deals beats holding one rental. Tomorrow, Tuesday, we'll talk about how to know when you found your land niche market. On Wednesday, the difference between fast money and wealth building. On Thursday, land investing lessons from other real estate sectors like houses, commercial real estate, industrial real estate, and so on. And then Friday, how to deal with jealous friends when you're winning.
Did you come up with that?
No.
Oh, that's funny.
I didn't. Our producers did.
That's good. I like it.
I left it for Friday because I figured you might.
Cool.
Each day on the show, we answer a question from our Land Academy member Discord forum, take a deep dive into land-related topics by popular request.
Man, I can't believe it. 10 years. 10 years of Land Academy. I was just thinking about this. Every Monday, I kind of want to lead off to, if you're finding us for the first time, how do we know what we speak about? 30 years full-time, over 30 years full-time at this flipping land. 16 years for me and 10 years of Land Academy.
Yeah.
So that's how I know.
It's a lot of land.
It's a lot of land.
It's a lot of talking about land.
A lot of deals. Yep, exactly.
Hey, this is a question that was kind of put in here by Samantha, who helps us out in front of the camera frequently, and it's very on topic for today, so I would like to read it if it's all right with you, Joe.
Of course.
Samantha says, and here's a summary. It's a summary from a recent Adam Data article, which I love. I love Adam Data. This is for national statistics this past year. The median gross profit for flipping a house, meaning before repairs and all of that, just the gross profit, I bought it for X and I sold it for Y, is $72,000, which is, I agree, she says it seems right, which I think that's about right.
Right.
That's slightly low for us, but splitting hairs.
Depends on the market, right?
If the resale price, the sale price of the property is $315,000, and you've got commissions at 5%, that's almost $16,000. If your repairs and your resale took 6 months, there's property taxes of around $2,000. Again, national averages. When you close the sale, there's title fees, $2,000, and then repair costs, and this is a big variable. On the light end, it ends up being around $20 a square foot. So for a 2,000 square foot house, that's $40,000. That seems crazy light to me. I think it's always more than that for us anyway, if we ever do any repairs at all. Gross profit minus basic costs equals net profit. So according to Adam Data, $72,000 of gross profit minus $60,000 of costs equals a whopping $12,000, which is about 4% of revenue. So this is why house flipping is so competitive, and it's really very on topic for what I think Joe and I are going to talk about today. 63% of flips are cash buyers. There's no interest expense or carrying cost in this. That taps into it even further. And then she goes on to say, so glad we're in the land business, and I agree. Mm. Today's topic, why flipping? Oh, do you have anything to say?
No, I'm
it's all numbers.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited about this. Like, you seem kind of mellow about this topic, and I'm like, why is he so mellow and about the topic? I'm like, this makes me excited.
Good.
Especially with those numbers. So Good. Let's get into the topic.
Why flipping 20 land deals beats holding one rental property.
That's it. I mean,
That's
we
the whole
just,
show?
well, I mean, pretty much. Well, not only that, the things that we're not talking about that article didn't even cover is all the possible things that can go wrong. You know, was there a permit that had to be pulled because, you know, after you got into it, you found out there was a leaky faucet, and then it resulted in a plumbing mess, and then it resulted in a permit pulling and time delays. There's all kinds of things like that can go wrong. This whole exercise right here is like a perfect deal. It's
Correct.
probably the national average perfect deal. And I bet, let's just be honest, there's a lot of people running around right now saying, you know what? Hold on, you guys, you're nuts. My husband and I do this. We average one a month. We do the work ourselves. So we're spending 40 hours a week at this, and we're very happy to make $12,000 a month. What's wrong with that? Nothing. It's really nothing if that's your thing. However, I just want you to know, and I think that's the whole point today, we want you to know what's possible sitting at your desk. You could sit at your desk with your feet up in air conditioning wherever you are, or in the heating in the snow kind of thing if you live in a mountain town, and make the same $12,000 a month and probably work, gosh, I don't know, less than just a couple hours a week. Definitely less than 10. I was going to say maybe less than 5.
You know, summarizing what Jill's saying, there's a bunch of differences between flipping a house and flipping land. And I know this says having one rental property, but let's just look at the differences between buying and selling land and houses. Number one, you never leave your desk, like Jill said. Number two, if you're a technical person and you understand computers, which most of us are now, unless you're 82 years old, you understand computers, and you've embraced, let's just call it, the fact that you have to be patient with applications and programs and a bunch of stuff like that. Furthermore, if you're a data person like I am, or a salesperson like Jill is, you shine in front of a computer. So the business it's what Jill just said. You're really sitting behind a desk. You're really efficient. The time that you're spending is crazy efficient, and there's very few variables. When you buy a piece of land, you pretty much know what you're getting into, and you pretty much know what you're going to sell it for. Mm-hmm. The variable is kind of when. How long is it going to take to sell? And
you don't buy it if the math doesn't work.
With houses, there's crazy variables. Yeah. You knock a wall down, you find out there's mold. Geez, it's endless. If you've ever renovated a house, even for yourself, you know how many variables there are. Mm-hmm. And so when you hold a house as a rental, right, instead of flipping it, those become exacerbated. Someone's living in it, and I'm not saying never do it. Jill and I have rentals. We do, and we handpick the tenants and make sure that a lot of this stuff doesn't happen, especially with the types of properties that we buy. But boy, let's just do the math. This 20-to-1 thing came about, I'm sure. One of our producers on the show probably just arbitrarily picked 20. But I'll tell you, we can do 20 land deals in the time that we do one SFR flip, one house flip, and geez, infinite number if it's a long-term rental.
I would say, and the reason we do it is it's because we don't have all our eggs in one basket, and we're in strategic markets where it makes sense. So that's a whole nother thing. Like, I was just thinking, what's the average, national inflation? I bet it's shockingly low. You know what I'm saying? Mm-mm. I bet the national average of SFR inflation percentages year over year are probably a lot lower than we think they are. Because you and I are sitting in hot markets. You and I always hang out in hot markets. We're not sitting in, frozen tundra
Detroit
places or that. Where it's amazing. Like you've said, wow, that house was $400,000 when I was a kid, and it's $400,000 today. So that's something else to think about too when you're doing these rentals. You want the asset to appreciate while you're getting the rental income. So I want to say, like, you guys sound like you're eating your words because you have rentals too. No, it's because they're in the right places, and we know what's going on.
Not just the right places, but the right area of the right zip code. It's real specific because we don't.
Good point.
I analyze everything, overanalyze everything to the point where we're both comfortable in making a decision. Yep. But just look at the math. Forget all that. Think about this for a second. You buy 5 pieces of property. Your average is $20,000 to $30,000. Let's say $30,000, and you don't have the math that Samantha pointed out here on a land deal. You're not renovating anything. There's no mold. There's just no real surprises. Once in a while there is, but it's not worth mentioning. So you do 5 land deals at $30,000, you make $150,000. You flip one house, you make $12,000. Or if you keep it and you're making, I don't know, $800 or $900 a month, net, if nothing blows out, how long does it take to make $150,000 on a rental?
That's the argument.
That's the tragedy of rentals. Now, we have these, the reason we have chosen rentals, just to be devil's advocate here, is because it's part of our estate. We're hooking our kids up in the future, and because of that, the actual annual increase in value. So
I didn't want them to hear that, but I'm pretty sure the kids don't listen.
they don't. They listen to somebody. It's just not us.
Exactly.
They're listening to podcasts right now, all 3 of them.
Not ours.
Not this one.
Thank you. Okay. Good.
Join us tomorrow where we discuss how to know when you found your land niche market. You are not alone in your real estate ambition.
We are Jack and Jill.
Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.
We hope you find our content valuable, and we appreciate your support. If you have not already, please check out our channel and hit the subscribe button.
And your comments and suggestions help us to create the content you're here for. Hitting the like button helps to support our channel's algorithm and gauge your interest for future shows.